Bonsai, I'm the Cobra Kai Kid, and welcome to this very, very special live stream. Today, we're going to be talking about friendship, which is super important. You know, there's a lot to talk about. There's a lot of great things, and I'm very excited to be joined by all of you today. Thank you so much for joining. I'm going to be giving my thoughts, and please share your thoughts, share your experiences in the comment section below. Let's have a good discussion. Now, I always like to make this disclaimer. I am not a therapist, so I'm going to do my best to give some advice and say some of my personal thoughts. But, just remember, I am not a therapist. So what I say may not be the best, but I'll do my best. I'm going to keep this discussion not about, we could tie it into Cobra Kai because Cobra Kai deals with the theme of friendship, and there's some lessons we could take away from that. But in terms of like Cobra Kai related questions, we're going to not do that for this live stream. This live stream will be primarily on discussing friendship and what it means to be a good friend, and what you can do to be a good friend, how to attract good friends, because friendships are tough. Sometimes you think you have friends and then they're not really friends. And sometimes there's the right person right around the corner. So let's talk about it. I want to thank all of you so much for joining. Appreciate all of you for being here. So Chase says, I have no friends. Well, Chase, you're not alone. There's a lot of people out there who struggle with friendships, and it's definitely not easy, but what I can say is it will get better, and you will just draw people that want to be friends with you for you. I truly believe you shouldn't change for anybody, because maybe you'll be able to make friends by being someone else, but that's not who you are. Like, for example, I don't drink, I don't smoke, I don't do any of that stuff. And there's a lot of people out there, go to college and whatever that do that stuff, that do drink and that do smoke. And, it's hard for me to connect with those people because I'm not into that stuff. And there's a disconnect. And if I pretended to be like them, if I started getting into that stuff, maybe I would be friends with them, but I wouldn't be true to myself. I'd be feeling worse, and I wouldn't be in as good of a place. So that's why I try to avoid that. And, no matter how hard it is, even if you have zero friends, it's better to have zero friends than to have 5, 10, 100 friends who don't even give a crap about you. Even one friend who doesn't care about you, you shouldn't be friends with them. Why should you be friends with someone who isn't actually a friend? A friend is someone who's going to be there for you regardless. A friend is someone who cares for you. A friend is someone who loves you. And, a very important thing I always try to remember is love is an action. Love is an action. You can say, I love you to someone, but if you're not showing you love them, then it doesn't mean anything. If you just say, oh, I love you, but then you treat them like crap, it doesn't mean anything. Love is an action. Christopher says, my friends are really not my friends. They tell me to do things that I don't want to do and change me to somebody that I'm not. It's tough. It's a tough thing because when you do have friends that are influencing you to do negative things, there is a fear of being alone. And I have that. And I know a lot of people do. The fear of being alone, that if I don't do what my friends say, then I'll be by myself. Ultimately, you have to look at the person that you are and who you want to be. Sometimes you have to make really tough choices. I've had to make extremely tough choices. There are a lot of people who have been in my life that aren't in my life anymore. And it's it's sad. It's tough because you sometimes you wish things could last forever. Sometimes you wish friendships, relationships that you're in can last. But if it's not benefiting you, if it's not true to who you are, sometimes you got to be a little selfish. I mean, you got to do what's best for you ultimately. You know, you can be there for other people, you can like help other people, but you also have to help yourself. You know, your friends wanting you to do something that's not good is, if that's not who you are, you have to, be confident in who you are and what it is you believe in. And even if that means making a difficult decision to not be friends with them. And I mean, you can always talk to them and say, hey, like, you guys are making me do some things I'm not comfortable with. And either if they're a good friend, like we're gonna talk about like what does it mean to be a good friend? A good friend would say, "Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't know. I apologize. I don't want you to feel uncomfortable." A bad friend will say, "Dude, what's wrong with you? All we're doing is asking you to do this. It's not a big deal. Just do it." If they're peer pressuring you like that, it's not a good friend. And it's hard to know sometimes. Um, Sometimes you have to go through the pain in order to learn, which is tough. Nobody wants to experience pain, but sometimes we have to go through it in order to learn and in order to grow. So I hope you do what's best for you, Christopher. I'm a good friend to chat with, including myself. Yeah, listen, the best friend anybody could have is their self. You know, once you can be at peace with yourself and being alone, then you can allow other people into your life and be okay with it. But there's a lot of people out there that are dependent on other people, which it is important to have other people in your life. That's for sure. Nobody wants to be alone, nor should they. But if you can love yourself and be okay with being by yourself and being a friend to yourself, then that's important. And that can definitely help you in the long run. So if you do find yourself in a situation where you have to be alone, you're okay with it. There's a lot of people that really have a fear of being alone. And I don't like to be alone. Like, I do want like friends and people. But at the same time, though, there are things that I do alone and I don't mind and I'm okay with it. Like certain people cannot do anything by themselves. And it's because of fear. It's like they have a fear of being alone and being judged and not being loved. Like, for example, I go to the movies all the time by myself, all the time, literally just me. And some people tell me that's weird or that like they always go with someone. They would never go to the movies by themselves as if like it's a weird thing. But you know what, though? It's like if sometimes I don't have a choice. Sometimes I'm the only person who wants to go to the movie. So I'm going to go by myself. Um, and I got to be okay with that. And if I'm okay with that, then I'll enjoy the movie and I'll have a good time. There's been a lot of times in my life where there's been things where in the past where I wouldn't do it because I didn't have friends. Certain events I wouldn't go to, certain things that I really wanted to do, but it's like, I can't go. I don't have anybody to go with. But now I'm at the point where I'm not going to let that stop me. Like if there's a concert that I want to go to, even though, it's not the most fun going to the concert alone, it's better than just sitting home and not doing it. I'm not going to let that stop me because then I know I'm going to look back and be like, I can't believe I let fear of being alone stop me from doing what I want to do. Once again, being alone is tough. It's not easy, but if you can try to just, focus on yourself and what you want to do and not let that stop you from being who you are and doing what you want to do, that could be really, really key. Geller, I am so sorry. My dad died 4 years ago and I still can't get over it. I'm so sorry. That's not easy. And, that's something that's just not easy to get over, no matter how many years. I don't know the relationship you guys had, but I'm really sorry about that, and I'm here for you, and we're all here for you. Let's show Gellert some love in the chat. Love you. Bro, exactly. I can't relate to those kids, which is why I'm very selective. Yeah, it's not a bad thing to be selective. You know, sometimes people will just allow everybody into their lives. I've learned the hard way. I mean, even like coming onto the YouTube platform, I've had to, like when I was new to YouTube, I had like a bunch of people like welcoming me in, and it was really nice. Like, thank you guys. But then like over time, like I kind of find out like, oh, like they're really not the best people, and I shouldn't be like aligning myself with these people or talking to them. And I've had to be more selective of who I talk to because, you know, you don't know. Sometimes like you gotta learn. You gotta learn. And sometimes people will take advantage of you, they'll take you for granted. And it's important to be selective. I mean, you can look at someone with 100 friends, but they could feel completely alone. And it's better to have one good person, or if there's not that one good person, then you know what? You'll find them. But ultimately, it's just better to have good people and be selective about, you can have you can have multiple friends. Like, let me make that clear. Like, you don't have to have the best relationship with someone to be their friend. Like, it doesn't have to be like you can share all their secrets with. Like, you have to just learn like which friend is for what. So like, I've had friends who I just play basketball with, and that's it. Just basketball. And I know that, okay, these are just the basketball friends. I don't talk to these guys about anything else. Okay, cool. And then I've had the friends who are into music. Okay, we'll just talk about music and stuff because I know you guys aren't like that deep, and you don't like we don't talk about feelings, and I can't share what's going on in my life with you. It's just music. And it's like sometimes you wish you could get deeper with them, but it's important to realize what friends are for what. Because you could have friends who are on the basketball team like I did, but if I share with them something, they can make fun of me, or they can share my secret. You have to learn who to trust. Now, you could still be friends with someone, but you have to just realize to what extent. Just because you're friends with someone doesn't mean you should just tell them all your secrets. You got to be selective in that case of who you're really letting yourself go in front of, and who you're really opening up to. That's important. Sam says, I don't really understand what makes someone a good friend because I've never really had one. TBH, you and Shamin were the first ever good friends I made. Oh, Sam, dude, always, man. Always gonna be a friend of yours. Thank you so much. And you know what? It's not easy. Friendships are not easy. Like, dude, I struggle a lot with it. A lot. It's like, here I am with this platform and I'm so grateful. But meanwhile, I find it challenging to make friends. And, you know, I think what makes a good friend, I mean, there's just so many elements. Being a good friend, I think being a good person is just number one. I really, I'm really trying to only allow like good people into my life, and that's why I've had to let go of a lot of people. There have been a lot of people that I was really close with, and then they started talking crap about other people, or they started talking crap about me, and they weren't the kindest. And it's like, then just nothing, it wasn't like we're not friends anymore. It just drifted. And then I look at them now, like, and I see like, they're at parties, they're drinking, they're doing all this stuff that I just am not into. And I'm like, you know what? No matter how I feel, even if I feel lonely or whatever, it's like, I'm glad I'm not friends with these people because I don't think I would be happy with them. And it's tough because, everyone is different. There are certain personalities that could make lots of friends. And then there's other personalities that don't. Some people, have differences about them that makes it hard to make friends. But ultimately, those differences are what makes you special. And it's just important to keep those things in mind and to keep being yourself and just try and hold on to that hope. It's like as tough as it can get. Like, I've like when I was in elementary school and middle school, I was trying to like I was trying to be popular, man. I was trying to fit in with everybody. I wanted to be cool. And there were people like making up. I never made fun of anybody, but like there were other people doing it, and I didn't say anything. I was just like, I don't want to start any trouble. But you know what though? I've come to realize like it's not worth it. It's not worth faking. It's not worth doing that. Like you gotta stand up for yourself. You gotta stand up for others. You gotta be a good person. And you do good things and good things come back into the world. So being a good friend, it's important to make good friends. You have to be a good friend and you have to be a good person. Good people attract good people. Bad people attract bad people. How can you tell that somebody is your friend? Good question. As I said before, actions speak louder than words. 100%. They could say like, I'm your best friend, or I love you, or this. It doesn't matter unless your actions are backing it up. You know? I've had people tell me like, oh, like we're friends, like, I care for you, all this. And then their actions don't back it up. And I'm like, it doesn't matter what you say, because if you're not showing me that you're my friend, then I can't believe what you're saying. So actions are definitely powerful. Now, you can have friends, you can have acquaintances, but like, a true friend is someone who you can be open to, and you can trust, and you can be honest to, and you get along with, and who won't judge you. It's terrible when you're talking to someone and they're making fun of you and they're laughing at you. That's not a good friend. And a lot of people are in those situations. I just watched Mean Girls, the musical. I mean, like, the Regina and her friends, like, that's not true friendship. Because, Regina was always making fun of them, and the girls just thought, oh, that's just Regina. But you know what? Regina's not a good friend. That's just what it is. Andrew says being alone is something you should try not to fight off. The more comfortable you are when you are alone, the more confident and socially aware and street smart you will be. Yeah, you know what? It's difficult. It's difficult. I think sometimes there's a point where you're alone so much that you just really just crave, human connection, friendship, whatever it is. But at the same time, if you can, just love yourself and be happy being with yourself, that's the most important friend you can have. Because at the end of the day, you trust yourself, the most. It's important to have other people to trust, but you always like got to remember like you're number one. Your feelings come first. I mean, I remember I've had a couple times where I'll like drive, like I'll have like a half-hour car ride, and I'll just like talk to myself, and I'll come away from it feeling really good. Like whether I'm just ranting or just having a conversation about like whatever. I don't do it all the time. Like I don't like talk to myself like that. Even though I'm kind of doing that now in a way where I'm just talking to the camera. But I know you guys are here listening. But like sometimes, very rarely, I guess if I have something to share and there's nobody there, I'll talk to myself. And you know what? It's pretty nice. It's pretty like because I get myself. You get yourself the most. It's like I'm like, wow, Drew, you're such a good listener. Oh, thanks, Drew. You're pretty good too. Oh, thank you. Oh, stop, Drew. No, you stop. You know what I mean? It's nice. You feel good. Oh man. Oh, too funny. Rex Production says, I had two friends. I was alone and sad. They were good friends. So I thought they made bully a kid with them later on. I realized that they were not good friends. So I distanced myself from them. Got you. So you had two friends and they were bullying a kid and you realized that I mean, good for you. Good for you. Rather than, joining them and being afraid of being alone. Sometimes we need to be alone. It's tough. It's so hard to say, but sometimes we need to be alone. I mean, it's better to be alone than to be with the wrong person or the wrong people. And it's hard in the moment. Maybe it's hard afterwards, but ultimately it's the right decision, because the longer you're with the wrong people, the more you're being held back from your true potential. And everybody has the potential to be something special. Ian says, this might not deal with friendship, but I'm having a hard time believing that the Cobra Kai cast are friendly and if they're going to be nice for me. Oh, of course they will. Oh, they're super friendly. Trust me. Trust me, they will. You got nothing to worry about. Oh, Hydrix, thank you so much for the super chat. That really, really means a lot. Thank you so much. I can relate so much. I can't really relate to kids my age because, like you said, they're into smoking and drinking, etc., which is why I'm very selective. Yeah, it's, you know what? It's tough. I've been in school and like I'm sitting at like a table with kids who are into film and stuff. Like they're into film, which is cool. And I'm like, I'm into film. And they're all talking about like their favorite alcohol and drug. I'm like, what? And then they come to me and I'm like, I don't do that. And they're like, oh, okay. And then move on. And it's like, listen, not that you can't be friends with someone who does that, but like, there's a lot of factors. Like it's also challenging sometimes. Like if you're someone who doesn't do that stuff, like I'm not into the partying and the smoking and the drinking. So like, you know, even though those are things, like you can tell like a little bit about like a personality through that. Like, you know, if someone likes to party and go out all the time, I like to socialize, but I'm a little more introverted. So there might be like differences there. I've met people who are into Star Wars and Cobra Kai. Few, not many, but you know, they just weren't like great friends who I could like feel comfortable talking to. And yeah, it's tough. It's tough. I just remember I had one friend who was into Star Wars, into Cobra Kai. I was like, oh man, this is so awesome. Like, we never ended up talking about anything else like on a deeper matter, which, you know, I'm a person, I like to open up. I like to share my feelings. You know, I have a lot of feelings. I don't like to be surface level with people. But that's kind of what it's been, because I mean, it's hard to find those connections. But anyway, I was friends with this guy who was into Star Wars and Cobra Kai. And then like, he just started like, and then I just remember one time he called me up and then he just started like talking crap and like kind of like dissing me, like passive aggressively or what, like passively. He was like passively dissing me. Like he wasn't like flat out dissing me, but he was kind of like, you know, saying some great stuff. And then I just like kind of stopped talking to him, and then he stopped talking to me, and I was like, okay, great. That's you know what? And even though it's hard, it's like, you gotta get the right people. But thank you so much for the super chat, Hydrix. I appreciate that. Is Cobra Kai Kid our friend? Yeah, Cobra Kai Kid is always your friend. You guys got at least, listen, you always got at least one friend here in me, you know? I know we don't know each other personally. Some of you guys I've met. Um, but I love you guys. I'm here for you. L. Turner says, I once tried drinking and smoking to fit in, and I attracted people that weren't my friends. I later chose to redirect more self-care towards myself. Now I'm either solo or I only attract like-minded individuals. Boom. There you go, L. Turner. I'm proud of you. You know, it's not easy to do that. Like that's not easy. I think something so important to do is to just like reward yourself and be proud of yourself for little accomplishments. A lot of times we have big goals, things that we really want to do and want to accomplish, but it's important to not oversee the little accomplishments. So for example, like, you know, a lot of times people have trouble some people who are depressed find it hard to do anything, you know? I've experienced that, where it's hard to just do anything. So like, even if you just get out of bed and brush your teeth and get changed, give yourself a freaking pat on the back. It sounds small, but sometimes you gotta reward yourself for those little things, rather than like, why is like, I'm not getting over the depression. It's really tough. You got to reward yourself for when you do those little accomplishments. Even if it seems little, it's a big deal for you. So L Turner, for you, you got it. I mean, you're attracting better people, and I think you have the right mindset for that. So great job with that. Andrew says it's important to remember that everybody's going through a version of the same exact thing that you are. The reason people do things they shouldn't do is because they're afraid not to. 100%, Andrew. It all stems to fear. It's the fear of failure. It's the fear of being alone, the fear of not having anybody, the fear of being judged. If we didn't live in fear, we'd be so powerful. And I mean, I get afraid of a lot. Like I deal with a lot of anxiety and fear and stress because I fear that I will be judged. I fear that I won't be good enough. I fear that nothing I can do will help in certain situations. So it's a battle. It's a constant battle, Cobra Kai, you talk about like, fighting. Sometimes you got to fight like the mind. You got to rework your mind and fight that battle in your mind and really, you're the only one who can do it. Sometimes you can get help. You can always get help, but you're the one ultimately who's got to turn it around, and you can do it. Just got to believe in yourself. I've gone to the movies by myself so many times in the past several years. Hey, there's nothing wrong with that. I do too. All the time. So Jamal says, I did karate for my senior project and everyone discovered that I love Cobra Kai. I'm also autistic and I feel that connection with Hawk if he is on the spectrum. I remember he said that in season 1. Oh, dude. Jamal, I'm proud of you for doing that karate for your project. And I hope that, everyone was able to like connect to that. Like sometimes like, sharing who you are, sharing what you're about, you find those like-minded people. If you never did that, if you never did that karate project, people wouldn't know that you're into Cobra Kai. Sam says, I'm used to being alone. I've heard people say that they don't want to be seen near me or to be seen near me because of my autism. Well, Sam, those people are idiots. Whoever says that are stupid because, they don't know you. Like, I know you. You're a really, really nice guy. You have cool interests and you're a good person. So the people that are saying that crap are not friends. Screw them. They're not even worth your energy, honestly. Like I don't even want you to give any energy to them. Because true friends and good people will not think that. And there are people out there that do not think that. There's a lot. It's a very small group that do think that. And they're just screwed up in their minds, very closed-minded and not good. So, yeah. Paul, that's not going to be today's conversation. Today we're talking about friendship. So, if you want to talk Cobra Kai, we could do that on another stream, or you can check out some of my other videos. But this one's going to be a different one. But I love you too, Paul. Love you, Jamal. Rex says, the two bad friends I distanced myself from, they would make fun of me, bully me, and mock me. I just came out as gay. They would bully and mock me for it. Oh, God, I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm glad you distanced yourself from them. It's a good and it's a bad thing. It's like sometimes you need that stuff to happen to show you, oh yeah, I don't want to be friends. Obviously, you don't want them to mock you and make fun of you, but sometimes it's better that it happens at a certain moment where it's like, okay, now I'm not going to be friends with them, rather than like delaying this friendship and being friends with them for a longer period of time. as I said before, friends accept you for who you are. They love you no matter what. And I'm proud of you for coming out, and the good people are going to accept you for that, and the people who don't, screw them. Steph says, my dad passed 2018. My best friend and my sister passed in 2019. My dog for 9 years passed away 2018. Oh my God, Steph. I'm sorry. That's a tough one. Oh man, it must have been a rough 2 years. Well, I hope you're doing better now, and we're here for you. Everyone, give Steph love in the chat. Poker says, mostly almost every day I feel alone. Sometimes I just don't want to feel alone at times, but it's hard since I just feel alone. But I want to make good friends, but it's hard. I get that. I get that 100%. It's it can be tough when it could be like, sometimes it can be demoralizing. Like, you try to make friends, you fail. How many times do you have to keep trying before something good is going to happen? You don't want to be alone, but at the same time, like, it's hard to just put yourself out there based off of how you're feeling. And also, just because you put yourself out there doesn't always necessarily mean it's going to work out right then and there. Sometimes it takes time. It's at least for me, it's been a lot of like, I'll feel really, really good, and I'll put myself out there, and I'll try to make good friends, and then it just won't work out. And then, as much as I want to, I give up, or as much as I want to try, I give up because I just can't take it. And then I take a couple days or a week for myself, and then I kind of get that inspiration back again, and then it fails again. And it's like, sometimes you win some, you lose some, and it can be tough, when you're constantly trying and trying and trying to do something, and then it just doesn't work out. It can be tough. It's not easy. Steph says, I met Susan Gallagher and she helped me out a lot. Oh, Susan is amazing. I'm so glad you met her. She is great. She's helped me a lot too. It's him says, hey, my old friend, he asked if he can have something, and he ditched me when I gave him something. What do you mean? Like he just stole from you? Huh. I'm sorry. I don't know if you want to like open up more about that, but like what specifically are you referring to? Oh my God, I just realized we are so behind on the comments. Wow. Whew. But I want to try and get to all of them. So, oh my God, I'm like 20 minutes behind on the comments. Wow. We'll get there. I've had people betray my trust on TikTok. Whew, the online space. I'm not a huge fan of it, honestly. Like, other than like talking to you guys and stuff, like where there's a positive community, I really try to stay away from the negative space and the drama. And there have been times where people have tried roping me into it. I've gotten these accusations, and they're just waiting for me to make a post and just like, but you know what? It's online. It's really tough. It's really tough. But you can't, like, there's some people out there who just hide behind the screens and just say nasty stuff, and you just gotta try and just realize that they have no lives. And there's good people out there like you guys in the chat, and those are the people that we gotta focus on. Your birthday was Friday the 12th. Happy birthday, Kimmo. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Kimmo. Happy birthday to you. Martin says, true fact about me, my grandmother from my dad's side passed away on Tuesday the 2nd of this month at age 87. No joke. Last year she got diagnosed with cancer. I'm sorry to hear about that. I'm really sorry. And I'm wishing the best for you and your family through this time. Elena says, I think the right people will always come into your life and then you will know it. Yeah. You can as long as you're perceptive and you could tell like who's someone who may be good for you, who's not. And it just doesn't make sense to just waste your time on someone who won't be good for you. Jason says, I have no friends. I live alone and I lonely. Well, Jason, you always got us here on the Cobra Kai Kid channel. You got me and the other 50 viewers. We're all here for you. We're all friends. Only positive stuff here, or at least we try to be positive. So appreciate you for being here, and you'll be okay, Jason. Here for you, man. Sam says, I really struggle to open up to people because so many people have used me and betray my trust. It's hard, Sam. Sometimes you have to go through those things to learn. Obviously you never want that to happen, but now that you went through that, now okay, now I know to be more careful about who I trust. And sometimes you have to go through it in order to learn it. And hopefully you can just now be more aware and be more cautious of who you open up to. Elena, that's exactly right. Be open to new experiences is very important. Yeah, you got to be open-minded about different things, and be open-minded about your interests and things that you want to do, and that could be a good thing. L. Turner says, this is why some say life is like a game of chess, because each piece on the chessboard has its own purpose, so you choose them accordingly in the same manner you would a friend. Yeah. I mean, there's some things in life that happen that are just out of your control. Like, there's a lot of things like, as much as you want life to be like a chessboard where you get to decide where everything goes, like the opponent makes moves. And sometimes when the opponent being life, like sometimes life makes moves and you have to like kind of counter that, just because you want to move your chess pieces to that spot, you can't just get there. Like there's obstacles along the way. And life, as much of a blessing as life can be, life can also be a challenge. Life can also be something that's an obstacle. Like things in your life can be obstacles. There are certain things that you can't control. And when you learn to accept the fact that you can't control everything and you can only control the things that you can, then that's important. Cobra Kai Canada, thank you for coming in. Appreciate that. The people you surround yourself with influence your behavior, so choose friends who have healthy habits. 100%. Let's tie it to Cobra Kai, guys. Robbie Keane. Like, dude, Robbie was messed up in season 1 because he was hanging out with Trey and Cruz. Then he met Daniel and he started becoming a better person. Then he was with Sam and Dimitri. He was a good guy. Then in season 4, he started being trained by Kreese and Cobra Kai, hanging with Tori and Kyler and Kenny and all these guys doing Cobra Kai stuff. And he cut off Hawk's hair and he became a douchebag, And it's not that Robbie is a bad guy. We know Robbie's a good person. But it was because of the people he was surrounding himself. It was influencing his behaviors. He literally says I'm sorry for cutting your hair off, Hawk, but it was Cobra Kai. Like it messes with you. So. Yeah. Oh my goodness. Thank you for coming in here. Appreciate you. And appreciate you for joining me for this sort of discussion. I stopped hanging out with my friends after high school because they were either busy with work or went to college, but we still keep in touch. That's great. That's awesome. You don't need to be like best friends. Once again, you don't need to be best friends with these people. You don't need to share all your secrets, and be open. Like you could still have friendships that are more like surface, like you do think like it's just a matter of accepting like what certain friends are for. Like sometimes you want a friend to be a certain way, but you can't. Like I've had to learn that. Like I've had people in my life where I'm like, man, I wish I could talk to them about this. And then I try to, and it doesn't work out. I'm like, you know what? You just can't. This person is for this and this person is for this. So yeah. Yeah, Scrippy, Scrippy Scrappy. You could have no friends and be a famous actor someday. Yet, I mean, there are so many actors out there. There's so many actors and musicians who you just hear these stories about how they're so lonely. I mean, Justin Bieber wrote a song about being lonely. And here, Justin Bieber, dude, everybody freaking knows Justin Bieber, millions of followers. Like, you would never think Justin Bieber would be like lonely. You'd think he'd have the world, but everybody goes through it. That's something that I've learned. So when I was younger, I used to, or like let's say a couple years ago, I used to like really put celebrities on a pedestal, and I'm like, man, they must have everything. They must be really, really happy. And then I started watching these videos of celebrities who I've looked up to, opening up about how they go through certain things and how they're suffering with certain like situations. I'm like, wow, they don't have it all, and it was really eye opening. Looks, social media, it's all a perception. You know, the thing with social media too is like people only see what they want you to see. So like, you know, I do these discussions so I can open up and be honest. But if I didn't choose to do these discussions, I could literally make a video right now saying, I am the happiest I've ever been, guys. I am so good. I'm living great. And you guys, that's what you would think because that's what I'm presenting to you. But I'm not doing that. I'm being honest. I'm being open. And there are a lot of pages that, you know, like Instagram, for example. Like, I mean, you know, you have all these pages of like, you know, people hanging out with their friends and pictures of their friends and with their significant other. And meanwhile, they're not in the happiest place. So Christopher says, I'm in middle school and I try to fit in with everybody, but just leaves me into trouble. And my friends just blame everything on me, even if I didn't do it. Middle school stuff, you know, you're growing, you're learning. And if your friends are getting you into trouble, then that's not good. You know, they aren't good friends. I have a hard time making friends because of my social anxiety. Yeah, you know what? It's not easy. It's not easy. All you can do is just keep being yourself, and you'll attract people who want to be with you. And sometimes it's more difficult for people. Like, you know, there's a lot of social people out there. I see people that are so social. I'm like, how? How do you do that? I wish I could be like you. But everyone's different. L. Turner says, having friends are cool just as long as you don't become codependent on friendship, but sometimes becoming a lone wolf and embracing the journey helps you better clarify your purpose. Yeah, you don't want to just rely on other people. Like some people just cannot do anything by themselves because they're just so reliant on other people. That's not a great way to live. Jack says, I kept praying to the Lord and put my trust in God to find a group of friends. And now I'm in this small group of guys and we share things with each other and be open with each other. That's amazing. Congrats, Jack. Really, really happy to hear that. Kenshi says, how can you trust in your best friend? You know, that takes time. That takes some time. It's important not to rush it and to just like right away. You don't want to just start telling them all your secrets and everything. The more you hang out with someone, the more you get a better feel for them. And you realize this is someone I can trust or this is someone I can't trust. Sometimes people have best friends who they can't trust. It sucks, but that's what it is. Trust is the key word in friendship. Yep. We all need time alone for ourselves to understand ourselves better and to accept ourselves and to love who we are. It's certainly not easy, but it's all worth it. Love that. Noise says, hello, I've been watching lots of love from Sweden. Thank you so much. Appreciate that. Woo, excuse me. Chosen One says, it's nice to have a best friend like a soulmate. We are quite different, but same. And the best part of it, we found out that... Wait. you talking about like a wait, are you wait, a soulmate? Like, you're talking about best friend, right? Like, or are we talking about like a relationship best friend? Because at first when you said a soulmate, I'm thinking like you're talking about like a relationship, and then you say your second cousin. I just want to make sure we're on the same page. I'm really sure. Steph says, I trust my fiance and my dog Baker. Hey, dogs are the best. Dogs are the best. So, yeah. Drew, are you friends with any of the Cobra Kai cast? Yeah, I would say so. It's not like, I have like best friends from the Cobra Kai cast who I'm like always talking to and hanging out with, but like, I don't hang out with any of them, like, because I mean, we're also in different states. But there are people that from the Cobra Kai cast that I would like, if I was down in Atlanta or something, I would definitely call them up and be like, hey, like I'd love to hang out. And I feel like I would get along with them based off of interviews and based off of speaking to them. So I would say so, which is pretty cool. I never thought I would say that, but um I don't smoke or drink, although I've tried it when I was younger in my college years, but I didn't really enjoy it. Now I juice regularly and I feel so much younger and energized. Oh, juice is the best. Love apple juice. That's my favorite drink. Don't be afraid to distance yourself from people who don't make you feel comfortable, and put your mental health and peace of mind above all else. Exactly. I went to parties when I was in high school and I made some good friends along the way, but as an introverted person, it got old fast and I realized I'm more comfortable with the small circle. Yeah, it's funny because as I got to high school, that's when like a lot of my friendships started to just disappear and disappear and disappear. But at the same time, those people that I was friends with, I don't see myself being friends with them today. So it happened for a reason. As hard as it was, I don't look back and say, oh man, I wish I was still friends with them. I do want friends, just maybe not them. Yeah, 80s everything, bro. I agree. One-on-one time with people is better than hanging out in a group. Yeah, I mean, listen, sometimes hanging out in a group can be fun if you all get along, but also one-on-one time, you know, I know I know of a group of friends. Now, I'm not part of this friend group, but I know of a group of friends, and there's about 5 friends in this friend group. Excuse me. I just did a podcast before this for like 2 hours, so that's why my throat's a little hoarse. But among these 5 friends, you know, you have like the drama going on between this friend and this friend and this friend and this friend. So there's like friendships within the friendships. And sometimes when they're hanging out just one on one, it's better. But then when they all have to hang out. So yeah, that's why it can be tricky sometimes. Cause then there could be like drama. Yeah, I hate drama. Um, what's up, Sarah? Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Rex, thank you so much for the super chat. Really, really means a lot. Thank you. Oh my god, we are 20 minutes behind on comments. Ooh. Oh my god, a lot of comments. Thank you guys. Wow. I'm gonna kind of try and like skim just to get to the end. Going back, I need some water, man. I did a discussion right before this, so going back to what I said, they forced me to bully that kid. I realized I distance from them, and you and that kid are friends now. I just came out as gay, and they would make fun of me and bully me for it. Well, I think we read this comment. I think we read this comment. I think the only reason you commented it again is because I'm a little behind on the comments. But listen, thank you for the super chat, and I'm happy for you that you stood up to those bullies, and now that you're friends with the kid, like that's really powerful. Good for you. Elena says, yes, be proud of yourself always, guys, and keep going. Yes. Yeah. Anxiety holds me back from doing many great things, unfortunately. I wish I could just switch it off sometimes because I wasn't like this as a kid. Oh, it's interesting because like as a kid, like, there's something about like kids. It's just like freedom. You don't worry about the world. You're just enjoying things. And it's like, sometimes you wish you could have those feelings again. And it's tough when you're grown up. And like, sometimes I look at my younger self and I just get really emotional. I'm like, that kid was just happy. He didn't have to worry about anything. And it would be nice to kind of like have that feeling again. So it is tough, wanting to feel like a kid again, and sometimes we can get that. And I think when there obviously being like mature and being an adult is important, but there's never wrong with like still feeling like a kid and still doing things that make you happy. Mm. Scrippy Scrappy says, I'm in karate. I get made fun of for it, but I don't care because what other people think of me is not my business. Michael J. Fox. I love that quote. How do you get made fun of for being in karate? Like, dude, you could like kick all these nerds' butts. No, I'm kidding. Don't do that. Don't do that. Violence is never the answer. But like, I'm sure every one of us watching this stream, like, I'm really impressed that you do karate because I don't even do karate. I know, like, I watch Cobra Kai, I'm Cobra Kai Kid and all that, but I don't do karate. I want to get into kickboxing. That's something I want to do eventually. But like, that's so awesome that you do karate. I think that's really cool. So don't ever let anybody tell you any differently. Man Joseph says, I literally lost all my friends before. I used to just do everything for them. And now since I didn't do everything for them, I lost them. Like, I gave them money. Yeah, when friends are using you like that, that's definitely never good. So, just got to be careful about who you put your trust in and who you give money to. Rex says, I just posted on Insta today that I'm gay, and the post got many likes, and my friends said they support me, and one was the kid the bullies forced me to bully. That kid is not my brother now? What's the kid? Is not my brother now? What do you mean? Well, I'm happy that you put yourself out there like that. That's not easy, and I'm glad that people supported you. That's really great. Aaron from Aaron and Aaron, a great TV sitcom. I gotta search this up. I hope this is not an insult. Wait. This guy, wait, this is who you think I look like? Wait, I gotta share this. This is who he thinks I look like. Where's the comment? He thinks I look like this guy. Do I look like him? Maybe a little. I don't know. Not the hair. I don't know. Thanks, I guess. All right, cool. I'd never heard of that before. DJ Club Rule says, I was born in Long Island, New York. I had so many friends, but when I moved, they are no longer texting me. Any advice, Drew? Have you tried reaching out to them? Or are they ignoring you? Sometimes reaching out is the first step. Put in that effort, and if they show it back, they're friends. If they don't put it back, then they're not good friends. Hi, Leo. What? Who said no? Nope. I am not allowing any of that in the chat. Okay. You're going to be okay, man. Literally, man Joseph, you're going to be okay. You're going to be okay. We're here for you. We love you. We're here for you. I'll show man Joseph some love in the chat. Ian Preston, my grandpa had dementia and he died in November at age 80, and it was the day after his birthday. It's kind of a relief because we were already grieving him when he was diagnosed. Oh, that's really tough, Ian. I'm sorry. I am sending love to you and your family, and here for you, man. Sorry. Galaxy Geeks. This is awesome. Love that you're sharing about friendship. Happy I can call you a friend. Yeah, Galaxy Geeks, thank you so much for popping on. Appreciate you for being here, and I really appreciate your friendship, Luke and Audrey. And yeah, guys, so Galaxy Geeks and I might have something cooking. I don't want to give anything away, but that might have been the discussion that I was doing prior to this. I won't spoil anything, but it was a fun discussion, and it's not going to be on my channel; it'll be on theirs. Unless I can reveal it, but maybe we'll wait for like the announcement, the official announcement before. I don't want to say too much. We'll leave it as a surprise. Chosen One. Chosen One says it's hard to forgive people that left you behind when you needed them the most. Can you forgive your friend that backstabbed you like that? That's a good question. I think if someone is truly sorry, I think if someone truly loves you, I think if someone truly, made a mistake, if they weren't there for you and they regret it, then I think you can forgive them. I think it's important to be open-minded. I think it's important to give people second chances because everybody makes mistakes, including ourselves. If we made a mistake and we were truly sorry about it, we would want the other person to forgive us. But also you have to be careful because what if they're not sorry? Like you gotta just be able to use your own self-judgment. Kimmo says, I try to keep all negative things completely away. Here's the negativity. Let's take the negativity and just ready. Let's see. This guitar pick is negativity, right? I do need that, so I'm gonna put that back in my drawer. but not to say you're gonna put negativity back in your drawer, like. But anyway. So Sophian says, one time I had a best friend and we were super close and we were in 6th grade at the time and we would hang out every day. And the day came when we were in middle school and he met some people. Yeah, that could be a tough one. I've had that too, where I've had friends and then they moved on to other people. And then I felt like, oh, what about me? And I kind of felt like second fiddle or third fiddle or no fiddle. And that could be a tough one. That's hard. That's a hard one. In 2018, I lost my parents due to a car crash. Now I'm here, which makes me very happy. I'm sorry to hear about your parents, but I'm glad that you are here. I'm glad that you're here in this stream. Thank you for being here. Karate Kid Cobra, happy early birthday. Actor Will Smith, who happens to be a producer in Cobra Kai, once said, if you want to know where you'll be in the next 5 years, just look at the 5 people that you are closest to. That's a good point. I'm closest to my family, so I think that says something that, as I get older, that relationship will always be there, which I'm very grateful for. I started jujitsu in September and I was scared. New place, thinking people would hate me, and all of that has been a few months now. And they're a lovely, amazing bunch. I'm honored to know them now. Yes. Sometimes it's that nervousness that holds us back, but when you face your fears, it could just really be it could be the best thing that happens to you. It's better to try and fail than to not try at all. Oh, of course. I'm glad it's helping. Thank you for being here. L. Turner says, I admire and appreciate your transparency along with your integrity, Drew. Thank you. Thank you so much. Appreciate that. Of course. Here for you guys. You are great. You were great. Thank you, guys. Your shirt looks like Robbie's from season 5, episode 7. That's literally why I got. Oh wait, what is there something on my? Yeah, that's literally why I got it. I literally got it because I was trying to get a shirt like Robbie. So good eye there. Good eye. Do I look like Robbie? Like, listen, Hawk. I'm sorry. We're all assholes for what happened back in Cobra Kai. Like, you know, I was like, what was his line? It's like, did he get you too? Oh, he's like, oh, Hawk was like, or Robbie's like, did he get you too? And Hawk's like, shut up, don't talk to me. It's like, dude, what's your problem? I already apologized for everything. It's like, don't forget, you literally broke Dimitri's arm. You trashed this entire dojo, like something like that. Had to. I had to recreate the scene. I'm in the Robbie shirt. All right, back to friendship. Tips to get a bit more friends. Just be yourself. Put yourself out there. Do things. When you put yourself out there, do things that maybe like align with your interests so that you find like-minded people. And sometimes it doesn't always come right away. It takes a couple tries. It takes multiple tries. Sometimes it can take a while, but you'll get there. How to lose friends. Talking too much nonstop, never shutting up. No wonder people don't want to be friends because I'm weird, socially awkward, and talk too much. That's all negative self-talk. So you have to, be positive to yourself. Love yourself. Be kind to yourself. I just hit my nose on the microphone. The more you negative self-talk, the more you're manifesting those things to happen to you in real life. So as long as you are being positive or at least trying to be positive, there's different ways of looking at things. You can either look at it like, I have no friends and I'm really depressed and my life will never be better. You could either say that, or you could say, you know what? I may not be where I am right now in terms of friendships, but I know ultimately the right people will come into my life. I don't know when, I don't know how, but it will happen. Two very different ways. It's the same thing. It's like you don't have friends and you want friends, but there's two ways of saying it. Either I will never have any friends because I'm a loser, or things might not be going the best for me right now. I might not have many friends or any friends, but I know if I keep being myself, I stay positive, things will work out eventually. And it's really tough. It's nothing that I'm saying is easy to do. It's not like, oh, you just listen to what I'm saying, or you just do certain, like, there's no like, do this and you get friends. There are things and tricks and tips and little things that you could try to do that will help. Like certain things like that you do will definitely help. Like if you do nothing, you'll probably be in the same situation. But at the same time though, there are like things you can do to help yourself, but it doesn't always come so easily. I gotta use the bathroom. Quick pee break. I'll be back. So you guys stick around while I use the bathroom, and I will see you guys in a minute. See you soon. Hang out. Don't leave. We're gonna get right back to this conversation when we get back. See you guys. And we're back. Sorry, it took a little longer. I had to fill my water bottle, but we are back. Thanks for waiting, everybody. Po Chris, do you have a best friend that you could talk to anytime? Not really. Not really, if I'm being honest. Did you get everything framed and hung? Yeah, Dave, I'm working on it. Got a cool setup back here. I gotta hang those two things up. Look how cool those posters are. Pretty dope, right? Arion, thanks for joining, man. Appreciate you for being here. Who is my favorite person in the whole world? You. Delia, you are my favorite person in the whole world. No, well, you are. You guys, all of you guys are my favorite people. And my family. I'm not gonna pick any favorites, but yeah. The MVP of YT says, "What's up, Drew? You may have seen me in some of your streams, but I just want to say thank you for bringing us joy when we were on this channel." Oh, thank you so much. Really appreciate that here. Thank you. I'm sending love and good energy to all of you guys. Keep smiling, keep going. Thanks, Elena. Man, Joseph says, "Thank you so much, everyone. You make me more comfortable here. That's awesome." Ian says, "You are my friend, Drew. You are a gift from God." Oh, thank you. Wow. Oof, appreciate that. April says, "How are you doing, Drew? Right now, I'm having a bad day because my car wouldn't start due to bad weather over the weekend. My battery has died on me." Yeah, that's not easy. You know, I'm someone who like sometimes things just don't go right, and it's like, you know, you try your best to make sure everything goes right, and then something happens, like the car won't start. Things that are just beyond your control. And we were talking about like you can't control everything in your life. If you try to, you'll go crazy. Um, and oh my god, I respect the people so much out there who like if something like that happens, they can like work through it. Like sometimes I'll see something like that like it'll happen to my mom. Like she'll go through something and then she'll work her way through it. I'm like, wow, if it was me, I probably would have crumbled under the pressure. I probably would have freaked out. But I hope you were able to pick your day around April. I hope that didn't I hope that didn't ruin your whole day. Thanks, Preston. Preston says you are the chosen one, Drew, no matter what. Thank you. Appreciate that. And Tim says, "I changed to a new school and now I lost all my old friends. All the kids in my new school are mean." I'm sorry to hear that. You know, that's another thing where sometimes things are beyond our control. Moving to a new school, it's like sometimes you just can't control those things, and sometimes you just have to adapt to the situation. So I hope you can do that. You know, sometimes you got to change things up to adapt, change your mindset. Rex says this live has helped me a lot by getting to talk about all this, and I gotta say thank you for this live. I would be honored if we could be friends. If you want to be friends, of course, Rex. All of you guys, all of you guys. I'm here for all of you. So thank you. I'm glad this live is helping you. I want to tell you that I got scoliosis surgery back in February last year. Well, I hope you're okay now. I hope you're better. All right, I think we're catching up on these comments. Yeah, we're catching up. Do the crane. Finn says, keep doing what you were doing. You're the best Cobra Kai YouTuber out there. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. It's very nice of you. Thank you. And we caught up. Nice. Mark Griffin says, I'm 66 years old. My two best friends I've known for 55 years. We were all born the same year and the same month. That's crazy. Wait. The same year. Wait, how could you have been born? Unless you, like for some reason I was thinking like, oh, your friends since birth. Never mind, I got confused for a second. So you were friends since you were like 11 years old? That's crazy. That's awesome. Really cool. Justin, Droodle, apple strudel, dude, love Wonka. Shout out to the Wonka movie. That movie made me cry freaking 1,000 times. Drew, is this a 3-month thing that you do every third month? The live streams. I saw the last one was 3 months ago. It's not an every 3-month thing. It's a whenever I can thing. But I try not to let too long go by. I can't believe the last one was 3 months ago. But what happens is sometimes I get busy with other things, and also I like to space these out a bit to make it more special. But I would like to do more. Whenever I can. I know this is like. I mean, we're having such a great conversation here. A lot of people are commenting and asking questions and sharing. So I know there's a platform for it. So I definitely want to keep doing it when we can. But we are going to go for a couple more minutes. So if you guys have any more comments, questions regarding friendship or anything else you may be going through, I hope this has helped. I don't think I'm an expert when it comes to friendship because I'm not someone with a ton of friends, and I am not like I was never Mr. Popular. And sometimes I feel like people just don't want to be friends with me, and it's kind of hard. But you know what? I'm grateful for who I am, and I'll always be true to me. And I'm gonna just keep doing my thing, and I'm gonna try not to let that stop me. I'm not gonna like change myself to please other people. I'm not gonna change myself to be friends with someone else. I'm gonna be who I am, and I'm just holding on to hope that things will work itself out. So, Isaac says, I said alone in high school and I tried different friends. I'm still in touch with elementary friends. Our friend gone along. So you are still friends with this elementary school person? That's good. It's good to have some old friends. Riding motorcycles saved my social life. You meet many just on the road and track. That's awesome. That's really cool. Hama says, you have a lot of friends and we are your friends. Thank you. I appreciate that. That means a lot. I know you guys are, so I do appreciate that. I want to thank you for your time. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Thank you for being here. This live is really very helpful. It's so safe here. Oh, I'm so glad. Oh, that's what I was trying to go for. So I'm glad. I'm really happy with that. I am shocked some people don't want to become friends with you. That tells you there's something up with them, not you, because I love your personality. It reminds me of Miguel. Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. I was really able to relate to Miguel and Cobra Kai. Just that like quirky, kind of like nice, wants to fit in, kind of has trouble, has a good mindset on life. Like that's what I try to go for. I mean, I'm not saying like that's who I am, but I try to do that. Thank you for your time for your YouTube live. Thank you. I have a lot of friends, but I'm not a popular kid because I have people in middle school that are mean. Hey, popularity, nobody cares about that once you get out of high school. So happiness is a decision. Michael J. Fox, don't let anyone take your smile away. You're amazing, Drew. Thank you. Thank you. Rex says, this has helped so much. Thank you for doing this stream. Thank you guys. I appreciate all of you for being here. I love you guys. And we'll talk soon. Thank you to Hydrix. Thank you to Rex for sending in those super chats. And thank you to everybody so much for being here. I truly, truly love each and every one of you. You guys are the best. Fo Chris, thank you guys. Dave, thank you. You guys are the best. All of you guys. Really appreciate you. Dave, Po Chris, and D Jr., Rex, Scrippy Scrappy, Leo, MVP, Graham, April, Junior, Kimmo, Cam, Isaac, Super, Graham. I think I said Graham. It's him. Vex, Mark, Hama, everybody. I know I'm not getting into everybody, but I truly love you all. Thank you guys so much for joining. I'll see you guys next time. Have a great rest of your day. And remember, Cobra Kai never dies.
We're Cobra Kai.
Bye, guys.